look at that. These are absolutely delicious. That is perfect.
The Wild Grill is brought to you by Napoleon Grills, Northfork Bison,
Good day to you, my fellow wild grillers. Well, there's no beating around the bush. They say honesty is the best policy, and the truth is, today's little piggy is not going to the market nor staying at home. Today's little piggy has a date with my grill. And what a delicious, yummy date it's going to be, because I'm swapping out your typical pulled pork sandwich for delicious wild boar, fully loaded, stuffed, baked potatoes. Oh, it sounds delicious. And with it, I'm going to be pairing a creamy, luscious coleslaw. I cannot wait. And the Flavor Town will keep rolling in, because for dessert, we will be having a cheesecake celebration with Kujina's jams. But to kick off our meal, an appetizer that may surprise you: grilled asparagus with feta and bacon. Asparagus for an appetizer? Sounds crazy, right? Well, crazy is a good thing on the Wild Grill. So let's kick it all off by getting this grill all prepped up and ready to go for its date. Time to get our wild boar all ready to go. Now, friends, if you're not sure where to get your hands on your own wild boar, what you want to do is go ahead and check out our website. It'll link to a fantastic company called Northfork Bison, and that is where you can be connected with some of the most delicious meats, and they ship right to your door. So how fantastic is that? So now all you want to do is go ahead and find your favorite sweet rub, and we are going to liberally, look at the wind just taking it away from me. Stop it, wind. You're going to liberally coat your wild boar. Think of it as makeup for a date. You know, you want to get a good layer of thick foundation, because this puppy is going to be in the heat for quite a long time. All right, talk about the wind. Bit of a tornado around me today, but that's okay, because soon in our mouths is going to be a tornado of flavors. Now, with any smoking or pulled pork method, what you want to make sure is that you are sticking to the rule of the game: slow and long. This is not a quick date, so that it really gives time to let those juices permeate into our meat and the flavors of our rub really get in there and saturate it all super nicely. So let's get this puppy on the grill right in the center. That's where I want it. There we go. Now, my temperature is set between 250 and 300. I'm going to keep it there. I want to keep coming back to make sure that I'm staying in that temperature range, and so I can check my meat throughout the course of this delicious grill.
This Wild Sips is brought to you by Shawn Ed Brewing Company.
Erin, thanks so much for joining me again today. I am going to be making pulled wild boar.
That is delicious.
Right? What do you think would pair really well with that?
Well, immediately when we're talking about a homey barbecue, right? When we're talking about gather around the barbecue, when we're talking about just really good times, beer. This is the beer I've selected for today. This is Ontario.
Okay.
This is a microbrewery or a craft brewery. It's called Shed, and it stands for Shawn Ed Brewing Company. And you might remember, because we've had Flat Rock Cellars, the wine. So Ed also is the proprietor of Flat Rock Cellars.
Okay.
And so he opened up this brewery, and we have this lager. So I think that this, especially because with the wild boar pulled, I was going to say the wild boar pulled pork, but that's not how you say it. The wild boar The pulled wild boar. That's a mouthful, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
So I think what's really nice about that is that when we start having all of that creamy sauce, when we start having that sort of spicy and sweet barbecue sauce, we really want to make sure that we're going to have something that will prop it up. When we have sweet foods, even if they're moderately sweet, so even something like a barbecue sauce that will have that sort of molassesy sweetness, you do want to make sure that you don't have anything that's going to compete with it that's too dry.
Right.
So when we have this lager, and the reason why we selected a lager as opposed to something else is that lagers, they're lower on that sort of hop scale to dial back the bitterness. So let's try it and see.
Oh, that's nice. That's crisp.
It's fresh.
Yes.
Yeah, I like that. A little bit of richness there too, which is really nice. But the bitterness, while we have a little bit that gives a nice base tone on the sides, it's not so hop monster.
Yeah.
Right? And so I think that this is going to go really nicely because we've got almost like I almost want to say a butteriness of sorts, like a citrusy kind of butteriness here. Which I think is going to pair nicely with that sweet barbecue sauce.
A nice coating. Yeah, well, I think that that's a great way to finish off a really great meal.
It is.
Well done, friend.
This portion of the Wild Grill is brought to you by Neal Brothers.
So asparagus is actually an awesome vegetable to work with, and it's one I prepare quite often for my fam jam. And it's more versatile than one would imagine. You can stir fry it, roast it, bake it, steam it, or, as we will today, grill it. So all I'm going to do is first get this coated in a nice amount of oil. I'm using olive oil today. We'll give that a bit of a little mix up there. I want it nicely coated. Pretty good. One more little drizzle near the top. There we go. And all we will do next is grab some red pepper flakes. So we're going to give a little sprinkle there. And so these flakes are really going to add a little bit of an extra bite to it, and that will offset the flavor of our feta and our bacon, which we will add later. All right. So right before I add this in with my boar, what I want to do is take a few moments just to add some moisture to the outside of my boar. And what I have here in this little spritzer is equal parts apple cider vinegar and apple juice. So we'll just go ahead and get a nice coating of that on there. That looks great. And now let's get our asparagus on. Now the reason you want to go ahead and spritz your wild boar a few times throughout your grilling process is because it's on there for a long time and we want to prevent that meat from drying out. So it's going to add the extra layer of moisture. And when you add that moisture, it's going to help the flavors of the rub as well as the charcoal and smoke to penetrate deeper into our meat. Oh, it is looking good, friends. Now when it comes to the cook time for my asparagus, it's on a grill that's cooking low and slow. I'm right around 250 right now, so it's going to take a little bit longer than normal to cook, which really is just fine and dandy with me because when you're cooking with one of these bad boys, that means you don't have to babysit it, so you can get other stuff done. Asparagus have been on for about 15-20 minutes. I want to go ahead and have another peek at it. Oh, yes. Oh, those are coming along nicely. Looking nice and tender. Let's pull them off. So now these have just a little bit of stiffness to them. It's time to get the feta and the bacon on. So what we're gonna do is I just have my crumbled feta here. Gonna give a nice coating of this and then my bacon. As I mentioned before, I do love cooking with asparagus, not only because it's delicious, but because it is a nutrient powerhouse. Fantastic. Now I want to get this back on for a few more minutes just so my feta can warm up, have a little time to melt. Oh, that's going to come together so nicely. Ooh, that asparagus looks so good. My feta has got nice and soft. Looks like the bacon is all nice and warmed up as well. Favorite part. Little piece here, just gotta try it. It's a little warm. but that is so worth the risk. I'm really getting the heat from those red pepper flakes that we put on there, but it's also balanced out with the feta, the savoriness from the feta and the bacon. But you know, just to add a little bit more complexity, you feel free to go ahead and grab a little balsamic glaze. I think that will really just elevate those flavors, but doesn't that also look just like the finishing touch it needed? The wild boar is also known as the wild swine or simply the wild pig. It is native to much of Eurasia and North Africa. It has since been introduced to the Americas, making it one of the most widespread mammals in the world. Despite its short stature, the wild boar is a heavily built animal. Its coat consists of long, wiry, bristle-like fur, and during the colder months, it develops a layer of short, downy fur for insulation. In North America, female boars, also known as sows, typically weigh around 200 pounds, while males can exceed 300 pounds. In Canada and in the United States, wild boars are classified as an invasive species due to their significant environmental, economic, and health impacts. When foraging, they can cause extensive damage to crops, land, and even farming equipment. Early detection, reporting, and controlled harvesting programs are essential in preventing wild boar populations from becoming unmanageable.
This portion of the Wild Grill is brought to you by Napoleon Grills.
The professional 22 charcoal kettle grill from Napoleon is perfect for the authentic charcoal grilling experience. The precision-controlled air inlets, along with the smokestack chimney, allows you to precisely set and control the temperature of the grilling area. The offset hinged lid allows access to the whole cooking surface while keeping your hands safely away from hot surfaces. The stainless steel extension ring is rotisserie ready, with doors to cover the spit rod parts, ensuring you are in control of the temperature of your barbecue. The cast iron grids hold heat and provide the best searing. They are hinged to allow easy addition of extra charcoal, refilling water pans, and addition of wood for smoking. One of the things I love about today's desserts is that they are great if you're on the go or if you're looking for that extra little special touch, maybe around the campfire one summer evening. And what I'm talking about is the cutest ever little mason jar cheesecakes. Let's get into them. Now with any cheesecake, what we're going to start off with is focusing on our base. What we have is graham crumbs, our melted butter, as well as our sugar. We're going to stir these up together, get them all nice and binded. Now that that's fully incorporated, you want to go ahead and grab your jars. Today, I'll be using 6 of them. And so you'll just want to adjust the amount of crumb base that you're creating, depending, obviously, on the amount of mason jars you'll be using. We're going to get a nice spoonful in each. I do personally enjoy a bit of a thicker crumb bottom. It's just what I like. So you do you. If you like the little less on the bottom, then you go for it. And now that we have our desired amount in our mason jars, just go ahead and give those a push down. You really want to just form that base with a little bit of elbow grease. Now, not all recipes call for you to pre-bake your crust, but I prefer to have that little crunch rather than it having the tendency to go a little softer. So what I'm going to do is just grab a baking pan and load all of these guys in. They will go in the oven at 350 for about 8 to 12 minutes, and that's really going to give me that crunch that I want. So we'll see in just a few. And by the magic of television, those are now out of the oven and ready to go. So what I have here is softened cream cheese in my bowl. I'm going to add in icing sugar as well as vanilla. Okay, we'll go ahead and use our elbow grease again and fully incorporate those together. If you have a beater nearby, stand mixer, you go ahead and take that route, okay, brothers and sisters? All right, now that I have this mixed together nicely, time to fold in our whipped cream. Whipped cream, who doesn't love it? Oh, I am happy with that. So let's go ahead and get our filling in our jars. We're going to use the double spoon technique today here on the Wild Grill. Now I have an absolutely fantastic selection of jams here from Cugina's Flavors that I can't wait to try out in this format. All right, so first things first, let's try the cranberry and pear, and then I'll follow that up with some blueberry. We also have carrot cake, apple pie, and mango. Oh, these are going to be absolutely delicious. You know, go ahead and get that filling in there because you want a nice thick layer depending on the ratio that you already have in your jar. And that completes it, friends. Now what you want to do is get these into the fridge to be chilled just so they can have that time to set a little bit more. You're looking at a minimum of about an hour, but I don't have patience for that. I have to try this flavor. I actually haven't tried this cranberry and pear jam yet. So I'm just going to take a little taste. Get into that nice crunch on the bottom there. Get out. Oh my goodness. This is like one of my favorite desserts. This is absolutely delicious. I can taste that velvety smooth cream cheese filling, the crunch of the graham cracker, and then that bite that's coming through of the pear mixed with the cranberry. This is my new favorite, absolutely. And I bet you any money it might be one of yours too.
The Wild Grill is brought to you by Napoleon Grills, Northfork Bison,
Boys and girls, I am so happy to report that our wild boar is finito. Time to get it off because I want it in my pan to rest a little bit. Also, I'd like to add that about 45 minutes ago, I threw on 3 potatoes wrapped in foil to get those bad boys going. Oh, look at this. Oh, you look so good. Friends, I kid you not, look at the coloring on that. We are going to get an even closer look in just a few moments. But I'll close my barbecue. I'm going to move my little friend to the side because now I want to focus on that creamy coleslaw I was telling you about earlier. So what I have with me here is green and red cabbage as well as some carrots. Now I want to get all of this in a larger bowl. So all I have here is mayo, Dijon mustard, as well as some apple cider vinegar. And those 3 flavors together are a perfect combination, looking for that zing in our coleslaw. Now that is a nice consistency. It's got a real thickness to it, but not too thick because we don't want anything clumpy going on our beautiful cabbage. Next up, we are just going to fully incorporate these together, pouring all of this beautiful sauce into our bowl. Now let's mix it up. That is looking great, everyone. Let's give it a taste. There we go. That has a real zip to it. It's like zippy doo-dah day. It is a winner. Now it's time to focus on the star of the show, our wild boar. So what we want to go ahead and do at this point is take off our butcher string. We're just going to go ahead and cut that off because we want to get our barbecue sauce right into this meaty goodness. We'll just give it a little bit of a roll. Oh, this is going to be so good. Now I'm just going to grab some gloves so I can really get into our meat. And that finishes that part up, friends. Next up, what we want to do is cover this deliciousness in our Neo Brothers barbecue sauce. Now we're going to add a good amount of this in. We really just want to accent that moisture that's already in our meat. This is a messy day, but oh man, is it ever worth it. All right, and we'll get it back on our barbecue for say about 10-15 minutes to just really let those flavors get into our meat. Oh, I tell you, I am excited. Okay, so we're just gonna go ahead and burn the tips of our fingers, and we'll cut one of these guys open. Oh, is that done or is that done? For the sad truth is we're actually going to go ahead and scoop out our potatoes. Feel free to go ahead and keep the inside of your potatoes in a dish. Now for our second one, we're just gonna go ahead and scoop out the sole of our potato. Time for our meat. See, quick. Ninja fingers. Next up, all we want to do is stuff our beautiful potato shells with all that meaty goodness. Oh, look at that. We always need to finish things off with some extra sharp cheddar cheese. Because when I said fully loaded earlier, I meant it. Now all that's left to do is add in our creamy coleslaw. And there you have it, friends, our fully loaded wild boar baked potatoes. Now, hopefully today's recipes have inspired you to step out of the norm and create something not only nourishing, but also fun to eat. I'm certainly looking forward to the smiles I'll be seeing around my table tonight, and I'm sure you will too. For more information on today's recipes and so much more, check out our website, and thank you for joining me today on The Wild Grill, full of flavor. That is absolutely delicious. I'm getting the sweetness of the barbecue sauce. I love it. I love it. My job's done. It's been a great day. But I'm out of here.